Hello and welcome to the Stoppage Show with your host, Tabrice. Hope everyone is well on this beautiful Sunday bank holiday weekend. And again, I just want to thank everyone that's been tuning in, supporting and liking the show. Let me just say from the start, our special guest, Ryan Locke, had a family emergency, so he went on the show. However, the show does not stop weekly. We will continue. So we'll be talking about all things good about vets, good and bad. So part of the panelists, and again, thank you to everyone that's going to come on. We have Owen from Herne Bay. We have Mal from the London FA. We have Conway from Jamrock. We have Jamex from Independent Vets FC. And then we have Paul, aka Black Clop from Independent, coach from Independent. How are you? How's everyone doing?
Good.
Good stuff.
Conway, I can't see you, man.
No, not today.
Okay. And why isn't that Conway?
Just tired. Looking tired.
Basically, Conway got punched up. He has a black eye, and he doesn't want anyone to see. Okay? That's what I heard. That's what I heard. If that's not what was said, then fine. But that's what I heard.
Yeah, I was attacked outside Morley's. I only had a pack in the chips, and only South London people.
Hey! Be careful, Conway. Be careful.
I'm up on the road. Forget beat up.
Be careful, Conway.
Oh dear. But again, thank you guys for kind of coming on. And again, this is literally going to be a vet show. So let's start off. Owen, your vet season thus far, how is it going?
Okay, we are. We've got meant to have 2 league games left, which if we win them both, we win the league. But the team, they're both against the same team, home and away, because they've cancelled fixtures during the season. They've struggled to get a team out. 50-50 whether they're going to get a squad out. If they don't get a team out for the first game, then the league has decided that they'll take it that they're pulling out, and then we'll win the league by default.
Sorry, Owen. So what position in the table is that other team, by the way? I'm just wondering.
They are 3rd in the table. If they were to win all of the games they've got left, and so in doing so would beat us twice, they would win the league. But yeah, they've been struggling to get out teams, get out squads. So we'll see. We're in a cup final. We won a semi-final yesterday, so we're in a cup final. We're the holders of that cup. We won it last year. So it looks like potentially our season's going to end up a mirror of how it was last year. League winners and winners of the cup.
Okay, no, fair enough. And before I go to Jamal, Jamex, how did the season go for you personally?
Personally, I was a bit upset that we didn't win the league because I thought we should have. I think we got a bit complacent and lost our way a bit. But our main goal at the start of the season was promotion, and we did succeed in getting promotion, so it wasn't all bad.
And how's your injury? Because I know that you was it limping or like there was a gash or something? How was it?
The Santos player tried to break my leg. They always do. Every time we play against them, one of them tries to break my leg. I don't know what it is about me. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, the swelling's gone down a bit. Like it's still a little bit swollen. It's a bit tender, but it's getting there.
Cool. And to Jamal, the London Vets Cup, what is going on? Like, who's in the final? Can you just talk about like the semi-finals? What is happening?
So, almost historically, we're having a repeat of last season's final. So, the Charcoal have got back to the final, and so has West Fulham. So that's going to be an interesting rematch. Last season's, West Fulham won 2-1, and it was a good performance. But Charcoal held their own certain parts of the match, but West Fulham had a few different parts of the game where they're quite dominant. So it'll be really interesting to see what happens now. You can't really question how both teams will be, because both teams got back to the final. And it's a cup match. It's not league football, with the greatest respect. You lose a game, you're out. As simple as that. And, winning 5-6 games on the bounce, I don't care who you are, isn't easy. But yeah, and for me, it's all about running a competition. And the key to any competition is your competition needs to be competitive. And to have a semi-final, Charcoal versus Sporting Kits, who were highly rated, 2-2, Charcoal won 3-0 on penalties. And West Fulham, other semi-final, beat Rayners Lane 5-4. So I'm a very happy person in terms of ensuring that the competition is evenly matched. The best teams are sort of getting through it in those games when the two teams come together. The score and the game is close. That's all you want. Don't care who wins. You just want it to be competitive. And then from a discipline angle, it's really good that having 4 abandoned matches in this season's London Vets Cup, which is just unacceptable. After that crackdown, the teams have responded very, very maturely, and there haven't been anything close to an abandoned match since. All of you here are trying to grow Vets football in a way. The last thing we need is abandoned matches, severe misconduct. That's not in anyone's benefit, no one. So it's good to see the teams responded, and 11th of May the best team win.
Cool. And Conway, you must be happy that West Fulham from your league are now in their second consecutive final.
Yeah, I'm well happy for them. I really want, because which London Vets ballers, I'm well happy for them. They are in the Surrey Cup, Surrey semi-final as well. I'm well happy for them in the final in the London FA, and I really they will do me proud if they win. They do me proud just getting there anyway. They even beat Jamrock fair and square. So just getting there from our league speaks volume. You think how many Vets teams there are who entered the London FA Cup, and just think that Rayners Lane's from my league as well. So in the quarterfinals, we have 3 teams from our league in there, really. And unfortunately, I think that Jamel should do his live draw, do the draws live, because I had 2 teams in the semi-final, which, hey, if I had my way, it would be nicer if they're separated, but it is what it is, isn't it? So, yeah, but for West Fulham to be in there, it speaks very volumes, and hopefully they get the win.
Cool. And Jamal,
just for clarity there. So, no. Conway is free to say what he wants. What he said is completely fair. How things have been historically with the Vets is that it's split into 2 between Saturday and Sunday. So when you do get to the semi-finals, it's designed to be Saturday team versus Saturday team, Sunday team versus Sunday team. Then Saturday be Sunday in the final.
Makes sense.
So mostly because you can't expect, as serious and as competitive as things are getting at Vets, it's still grassroots football, still designed to be amateur football, and you can't be expecting teams to not play on their day or to play midweek, even though it seems to be a decent percentage of the teams are willing to do so.
Okay. Conway, anything to say?
Anyway, me and Jamel will talk about this off there.
Feel free to have it. Feel free.
Okay then. Okay, but Rayners Lane then. I'm picking up for Rayners Lane. Last season, Rayners Lane's from my league. They are a Sunday team. Last year, I'm sure they had to play on a Saturday.
Yes, because this season it worked out perfectly mathematically. So in terms of the draws, it worked out. Last season it didn't. We had an odd number, so that means one team unfortunately had to play on the odd day. The draw that we have set up is designed to be high quality, but it's not going to be perfect. Especially it depends on how many teams enter.
Jamel, it's all love. It's only a little banter. It's all love. All right.
We would know that wasn't no banter. Owen's tackle was banter. You know what I'm saying? But that was
oh, gee. You know what? We are gonna get that later on.
Oh wow!
Owen,
I didn't hear what
I said to you. You should pull it. You should pull it, mate.
You know what, Jamal? That is bang out of order. This is like your first show in
Jamal's
a few
back.
months.
Jamal
back.
is
We
back.
need a viewer vote.
Bang out of order. But we will
back.
Excuse me. What did Jamel say? I didn't quite catch it. What he said.
He said about Owen. There's a subject that's coming on the program about Owen playing football, and of course Jamal being a ref has just slaughtered Owen.
Okay.
But anyway, we will get there. Paul Black Klopp, again, congratulations of reaching the summit in like Division 1. What's the kind of one thing that you're looking forward to in like that division?
Playing football. That's it. Seeing the guys again, playing football. That's it.
There must be more.
That's it. Playing football. Seeing the guys. We're always competitive. So just playing football, man. It's only grassroots.
The transfer window's open, guys. Ballers.
It's only grassroots football.
Okay, no, fair enough. But we'll be kind of literally talking a lot more. And actually, I want to bring in Ivan. Ivan, how you doing, sir? From Seagas.
Sorry about my tardiness, but it's lovely to join you. Honestly, meeting of the minds, pleasure. Thank you.
Great stuff. So, actually, Ivan, could you kind of give us a 1-minute blurb about Seagas?
Fitness. Sorry, go again, Tom. Sorry, I'm just getting my headphones ready.
Sorry, just literally, if you could give like the viewers out there a little bit about Seagas.
About Seagas, interesting. Seagas is changing every week. We've got a new nickname thanks to independence. We're called the Spoilers, and we're building on it a bit because it's at first it was a bit of a. We took it. I'm not gonna lie. We took it a bit. Oh, that's a bit disrespectful. But then we kind of saw something building in it. And what's happening is there's a lovely little project. Mixed talent, mixed abilities, but we all know how to do our job. So Seagas is a nice little project in place. It's just interesting because, like I said, there's a lot of interest in Vets football, and it's actually created another good little side, I think, in Seagas. So, yeah, I think we're the new Wimbledon. The new Wimbledon would be the best way of explaining us, or Stoke. But yeah, we're just trying to do a thing. We're a band of brothers. We stick together.
Cool. And so, okay, so let's kind of talk about like the first topic, and let's kind of talk about the kind of competitive nature of like Vets. And actually, we are like all of an age where, you know, the kind of aggression side of the game was, is still part of, I say, like the fundamentals of literally what Vets football is about. And again, I just want this to be an open conversation, but I will kind of start with Jamex first. Do you think the kind of competitive nature of the game kind of coincides with the ability of teams around the division that you've just played in Division 2?
I think that different teams play different, innit? Not every team's like I don't know. Some teams are they're not as physical. It depends on the team. But for me, I don't think it's nothing abnormal. I think I've always played football, and it's been competitive and it's been physical, and I've never played football any other way, to be honest. But there are a few teams that are not that physical, but they're still competitive. Does that answer the question?
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, and again, this is almost kind of labeled to Jamal as, you are the only official referee here. But, I think we've all been in games where, the physical side of it, a lot of the referees are kind of pulling up and, and literally pulling up for fouls and whatnot. But we all come from an era where those type of challenges were absolutely fine.
I think, sorry for cutting you, but I think that some of the refs, there was a couple that let things go, and there's some that blew for everything. And yeah, it's just to get the balance, isn't it? I mean, it's hard to get the balance sometimes.
Don't forget, because you have to think about the referee's mindset. A referee's mindset isn't to allow the players to have fun. Referee's mindset is to keep the players safe. Mm-hmm. Now, when you have a referee who isn't afraid to take a risk like myself, I'll let the guys go and play, because I know if the game goes up, I can get back on top of it and bring it back down. If you're a ref who hasn't developed that skill yet, or you don't believe that you can get the game back under control, you can't allow it to go in. You can't allow tackles to go in. You can't allow the late tackles and leaving the foot in to go in. And that referee's top priority is to keep it safe. When the referee thinks they can keep it safe, then they can allow you to have a bit more fun, But you're asking a lot, really. And then on top of that, the better higher quality referees aren't really provided on your competitions.
I don't think it's that. I don't think it's dirty though. I don't think it's like there's no dirty teams like that. I mean, you get the odd tackle here and there, but it's football. I wouldn't really say there's a certain team I think, oh no, they're just nasty and I think it's just football, to be fair. Me personally.
I think it's so difficult for a ref to determine when two guys are sort of talking to each other, but it's controlled aggression rather than. So sometimes a ref will see two players squaring up off the ball and thinking, okay, wow, every touch is a foul now because I got to get a hold of this, otherwise I'm going to lose it. So, and then for all of you, when you're playing or managing, you need to realize when the referee has seen that way, and you got to pull your back for it and say, hey, listen, you're on the yellow. You're asking for a yellow. You've got to be careful. Every touch is going to be a foul now.
Yeah, true.
Okay. And Owen, Black Klopp, and Ivan, I'd love to get your opinions about it.
The team I play in now and teams I've always played for, never been predominantly known for being a physical team. Whenever we've come up against teams when it's gone that level, yeah, we can mix it up with the best of them. You know, we don't get bullied in any way, get dominated. What we found is if our play absolutely blast away the other team and they start trying to get physical, we just keep playing and just score more goals, dominate them. When it's a tight game and it's getting physical, fine, we'll up it to that level. And we do have that still in our league. There's two teams we play at who are, you know, good teams, and it can get a bit feisty. We found that in the London Cup when we played this year. We lost to Sporting Kits 1-0. You know, I haven't played in a 1-0 game ever. That showed how tight it was, and that got a bit feisty, especially towards the end. But that's fine. You know, we like that. You know, like a bit of competitive nature. Sometimes it overspills, doesn't it? But that is the nature of being competitive. Yeah.
Ivan?
Sorry, I keep on losing connection. My view is it's the same in life, isn't it? Because football's got a lot to do with your life. So the reason we're out there is because it's part of a lot of our sort of upbringing. Most of us were on the estates playing when we were young, when we had nothing to do. Like the time we spend sort of like looking at all different styles of football, like we forget that that's what makes the game the game. You're going to get physical teams that are going to kick you, and it's how you adapt. It's the same as life. You're going to get people that bully you. Are you going to let them bully you, or are you going to adapt? I think like if we all try to play like Independent, or if we all try to play like Charcoal, or we all try to play like London South, it wouldn't be as interesting because you'd just be playing the mirror images yourself. You'd probably be cancelling out and there'd be boring games. I think it's the same as boxing. Styles make fights, same as football. The styles that come across, you could have really two technically gifted sides. And I've watched the games and you end up yawning after time and it's a 1-0 to the other side. But where you get the two different sort of flows going against each other, it kind of makes for the same reason what gets us out of our bed on a Saturday and give up a day's work to go and play. You're interested to see if your style can beat the next man's. So I just think like the more different styles would actually be better. I've been a bit of both players and all through my career and life is I've been the aggressive guy. And to be honest, anybody out there listening and they hear me say this, they're probably thinking coming from you, that's a cheek. But if you're going to play the aggressive way, you've got to understand that comes with a reputation that you've got to be prepared to live with because like myself, everybody sees me and they're like, oh, here he is. And you know, if you know me differently, you know I'm a nice person. Like football is a way and sport in general is a way of expressing yourself. And I'm not the same person I am on the pitch. I step across them white lines. Exactly. I don't care if it's a Vets game, a friendlies game. It's a competition. As they say, mano against mano, me against you. And if I'm going to complain and I found when I did complain, I was just getting involved in the side of the game that we want to get rid of. So it's just like, and it is thanks to like the competition that has come from the different characters, the different styles, the entities. I've come across some new styles this year. It's like everyone wants to be a bad boy all of a sudden. And it's that side. If you want to do that, just remember there are real bad people out there. So just live with the side you're swinging, innit? But I just think, like I said, that all of us are all accountable at the moment for something very special. I mean, I took a part in a game against yourselves, 2 games against yourselves. And you know what? Like, one was 0-0 and one was 1-0. But they were probably two really on edge, exciting games.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow, how can a 0-0 and a 1-0 be like that?
Wow.
But that's what
Good
the two sort of styles brought. It makes sense. So when I say we don't all want to be an independent, if you played yourself every week, it would take the fun out of football. It makes sense. So that's kind of my, sorry to chat your ears off, boys, but I got with on that one because, like I said, everyone's come out of lockdown and it's like everyone wants to be a tough guy. Like, just play your game. Like, we don't need 11 Roy Keanes. We want some Messis. We want some Ronaldos. We want a Dash. We want a Ashes. We want everybody be different. And it just makes for a better game for all of us. And this is coming from one of the most stubborn, biggest mouths in Vets football. And I'm learning. Trust me. The game's too big now as well. It's getting too much attention from all sorts of angles. So I think we've all got a duty. When I was younger and I was growing up doing certain things, I thought it was clever. You got to remember there's people watching you. And they're going to continue that same poisonous path. It's all for us now to take this Vets football away from being the beer belly dads. I listen to you guys and you're 100% right. Vets football ain't a bunch of guys with big bellies running around no more. No. Vets football is a level. Like, we'll probably take it to most Sunday teams. Like, there's some good sides.
100%.
Big respect to all of you. And please just keep up your difference because the world's better with different people always.
Yeah.
You see, that's what I honestly hear. See, this is what See, Ivan said he can take it to some Sunday teams, which I took as you take it to some open age teams, right? So why don't we do it?
It happens a lot in pre-season, though, doesn't it? It's like, but I do think at the same time, let's not get above ourselves because week in, week out, it'll take a bigger toll on our bodies. But what I'm saying is, we're doing what the younger people need to start doing is like, stop trying to be Messi and Ronaldo. There's some bad boy footballers on every estate in London. Like, let's be something new. Like, let's be the old boys showing the young boys the right way instead of getting in your face and doing all this nonsense. Let's show them. Like, listen, it's about balling, isn't it? I keep on hearing it. I played at a level. We've all played at a level. I'm seeing that week in, week out now. I ain't even had the courtesy of coming across West Fulham Vets and them guys there because they're bringing another dimension as well. So it's like I said, before we go look at it, we got our own little thing going on and the young pups ain't coming in just yet. Yeah, so, but yeah, there's honestly, Vets football serious now. I love it.
And like Paul, literally, I know that he was nodding your head in agreement with Ivan.
No, I mean, styles make games. I mean, I know we make jokes throughout the season, and me and Ivan talk after the two games. We're competitive in the 90 minutes, and after the game, it's gone. That's how football is. He's right. You're not the same person on the pitch than you are when you're going home with your kids in your car. You know, people need to understand that. And styles do make, you've got to work out a way of stopping the opposition. And if that means getting physical, then that means getting physical. If that means hitting the long ball, that means hitting the long ball. No one comes to football on a Saturday to lie down and let Dash run past them and score 7 goals. No, you're going to drop off deep. I'm not going to give you space. I'm going to put one on you and hope the ref doesn't see it. That's football. We see it on Sky Sports. So why don't you think it would happen on grassroots? Come on. I little bit disagree with we don't want bare bellies in Vets football. I personally believe that we need everybody. The serious footballers, the serious teams, and we need the guys that are just out for a jolly. I think we need, because it's not an exclusive club. It's for everybody, So that's my personal thing. We need everybody. Not everybody's into. Sorry, yeah, go on.
Sorry, Black Cop. Sorry, go on. Continue. Sorry.
Yeah, not everybody's into the really. I mean, we've come up against teams that might take us a little bit because we take it serious. And I look on them and say, you know what? You're just out for a bit of fun. That's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? So I think we need everybody. Personally, that's just my thing. Yeah.
But that's football anyway, isn't it? That's you can talk Portuguese, you can talk Spanish, but they'll both watch the game and see the same language. That's football. So what we do is so big now because we're also putting out a message to, like I said, my boy watches all of my games. And he's learning from a bunch of old boys how to be a really astute footballer under 13. So Like the message is quite clear. We do what we're doing and we keep on doing it well. The young boys will step up. And guess what that means? That's better for us because they get better. When they're seeing their pups can still play on a pitch with them, what you think they want that? It's not what they want.
True.
And that's all about being a man, isn't it? You've got to challenge in the end, the king lion has to be challenged by the prince because somebody's got to run the throne after. So, like I say, I'm putting it on my boy now. If I can still outrun you in 5 years' time, bro, you better give up football. And he's taking that to a whole new sort of level now. So it's a friendly thing. It's not serious, but it gets him thinking, why is my old
competition as well? Make it work.
100%. And these kids, I see some of your boys on the sideline, your children, and they're looking. And trust me, they're sometimes more smarter than us. They're giving us little words of wise words on the sideline. So, like I say, I think it is one family, but the focus that we've earned at the minute does need to stay with us so we can then sort of like hold this torch a bit firmer. It's not just luck as well, because again, like a lot I've noticed in I'm 39 this year, so 4 years in Vets football, I've seen a team at the beginning one be really good. By year 4, they're not existing no more. They're done. That's the part we need to concentrate on. Why is this happening? You've got the top division, 3 teams in the top division have folded, but less teams have folded in the less division. So that tells us something about the demand of the first division. You can put all your honey in the pot and take it to the table, but it might not be enough for the king. And that's what playing in that first division, I noticed it's got a massive. It's even tougher than our league, and I found there wasn't a big difference between our league and the top division.
Our league was
There's not a massive difference, like I said. So the quality is going through the roof. So I think they do need to maybe, whether it's make it smaller, but that top league is very, very taxing on the body at 35 plus. It's like I say, you don't get a rest. London South would tell you they were on fire, and you look now, you can see their bodies wearing. I've watched them quite a bit. Still representing massively, but you just look at it from the outside and you're like, wow, you can see teams sort of like just struggling. Remember, we don't get paid. We ain't got a lot of funding, most of us. It comes out of our pockets. That's the next thing. Like our team, Seagas, our biggest issue, we probably got a 35-man squad. If we put out our best team every week, the probabilities end up changing. But that shoulda, coulda, woulda. We didn't. But if we could we compete at a better level and maybe more consistently? And that's, you talk to most of the coaches. I don't need to, because you are one yourself. You probably say the same. You go across the board, you say the same. So I just think that's why I say no. It's not that I'm not interested in anything else. I just think what we've built here is very special, but the sustainability is quite worrying. It is, because you're looking at sort of like 2 years and then you see players ain't playing no more. So I think that would be more of an issue for us. Would we amalgamate more teams rather than letting them fold and maybe keep some of them going? But we can't let it go. This is too good. Shorten the divisions, make less divisions, stronger leagues. There's a lot of just look around you and you see it's just it's gut wrenching to see a lot of good sides just don't exist anymore. So like I said, Blackheath, we lost 2 in our league, didn't we? I think Blackheath and then the top league, what was that, 3 have folded? So that'd be my main concern with Vets football at the moment.
Conway, you kind of want to say something?
Yeah, I was just saying that personally, I think that why some teams want to, what you and Black Cop said was 50-50, where you said that about the beer bellies, Ivan, and Black Cop said let them in. You got to think that sometimes if you're a good enough team, is it any fun beating a team 12-0? What do you get out of it, and what do they get out of it? Because it's a bit demoralizing. You come home, how did you get on? We lost 12-0. You know, and to keep that through the season. So you're both 50-50. You know, I agree with you both 50-50. But I mean, I know Black Cop said that to let these beer bellies in, but beating a team, that doesn't do nothing for the team. Myself,
but Conway, you're
they
looking
make the
at
top
it.
divisions, though, do they? Because once we get to the top 2, 3 divisions, there's more
you're
athletes
looking at
in
it
those
as
divisions.
No, but I'm saying, a team has to go up, okay? So correct. So say you was playing for Conway FC, and my team was the Bear Belly team, and then we had to go up a division. I'm in the league now. When teams need to come up, every excuse, they don't want to come up. They don't want to
let
come
them
up, and then they're just like,
Don't let them up
we'd
then.
rather leave the league because we don't want to come
Don't let them up. Don't let
Pardon?
them up.
Yeah, but then
Don't let them up.
Yeah, but that just messes up
the leagues
things.
are
That's
deceiving
how
though,
football-
because
there's rules of the score and everything like that. You've got to let them. You can't just say we can't let you up.
We've had
But that was
teams
like
in our
things
division.
though, innit?
We've had teams in our league that have won and don't want to go up. So it happens. And I thought they were decent sides. They just didn't want to go up. You've got to remember, as I said, there are teams that are competitive, take it serious, and the teams that just want to have fun. Group of guys just want to have fun. We need, I've been in Vets football a very long time, guys. Not trying to blow my own trumpet. We need everybody. 7 league divisions we've got. I cannot say, looking at the 6th division, say, you lot are rubbish, you lot shouldn't play football. No, let them enjoy their football. Let them enjoy football. Let the first and the 2nd divisions be competitive and 100 miles an hour. Let them guys enjoy what they want to do. Simple. If they get beaten 12-0 and they come back next week, then it didn't mean anything to them. They still want to play football. Good for them. Good for them, I say.
Yeah, but how many?
Good for them.
All right, then, Paul, as a manager, right? If you, I'm just saying, say if it was your team and you was losing 12-0, 7-0, 8-0, 6-0, how, as a human being, right? How long would you take it before your players just said they're gonna bounce?
First of all,
or for yourself?
my name wouldn't be Black Klopp if my team was losing 12-0, 7-0. My name would be Black Frank Lampard. Okay, and it's second of all, it wouldn't matter because I would be in that zone where we're just a bunch of mates. We have a game and we go to the pub after and we have a jolly. So I wouldn't be competitive as I am now with this team.
What does it? Can I ask you something? Can I ask, right, Owen or
actually,
what does it do for your team winning that scoreline each week, though?
Okay, well, yeah, actually, before Owen and Ivan actually answer that question, and again, this is literally a question to Owen and also to you, Con, and again, being absolutely like respectful to like both leagues that you guys are in. Owen has said that his team literally wins the league every single season, and
Rangers and Celtic.
And there are like certain teams that literally don't want to play against Owen's teams because again, they literally roll over teams. And to you, Conway, as well, like we've like seen yourself and West Fulham dominate your league, and we've like seen some of the results, like 15-0. And literally, your like teams are in the top division. So literally, if we're talking about being competitive, how competitive are your leagues?
Exactly.
So Owen, I'd kind of like to kind of get like you on this. I mean,
yeah. Well, this is why the context of that is why I'm part of all this, because we got involved through an invitation for Jamal into the London Cup because we needed better competition. Because what we were finding was our best players were just like, and they weren't actually turning up anymore because we were just smashing teams. There was no challenge there. It's not enjoyable, as Con was trying to make the point there. It's not enjoyable when you're smashing teams. You want a bit of a challenge. And so, we were attracting good players at first because there was all this kind of like, Herne Bay Vets doing well. We would call something else back then. Getting these players in and then absolutely dominating teams. And they were like, well, this isn't a challenge. I'm going to go back to playing Sunday football still. And so that's why we entered the London Cup. That's why we entered the Kent Cup, to really try and get a bit of competition to play against the better teams. As we did in the London Cup, we certainly got to see where our level's at, and we'll be back again next year. And
oh, really? Well, you know what? I'll tell you one thing, because with Owen and Herne Bay, that you bring in a geographical issue. I mean, Herne Bay, you're literally at the end of the earth. So, you can't go east to play anyone. You do that, you have to be playing Lille or, Lorient or something.
You got to take ship to get to him, man.
Let's go to France. So for them, I understand that competition formats are so important. And Conway's right. 12-0 wins don't do anything for the winner or the loser.
Nah.
Okay? That's not in anyone's best interest. Now, what we can't do is, I don't care how serious, and I know so many of you are taking this so serious, similar to what Ivan's saying. Now, listen, this is not a little man thing. This is a serious thing. have to look after your body, you know, and so many people at vets are taking it more serious as far as getting more competitive. It's still amateur football though. So if the team are in a lower division and they've won and they're looking up and they're seeing London South United or Independent and they're like, I would prefer not to have that smoke actually. I want to stay where I am. Leagues have to accommodate that, you know?
Yes.
Now, hopefully they're only winning their league by a point or two. So that league's already competitive. If they're smashing everyone 16-0, may I suggest you may need to find another competition to play in. Because if you don't want to go up, you can't just jam in Division 2 and just box on everyone down. Just smash it. Not a competition. People think just because people are participating, that's not what a competition is. It needs to be somewhat close, you know?
Okay, Jam, I'd love to get your opinion about this subject.
Sorry, say that again?
I'd love to get your opinion.
Oh, yeah, listen. Like you said, like Jamal just said, if you're in your league and you're winning your league, but it's not that bad, you're not smashing up teams, and you want to stay, then that's cool. Stay, because it's still going to be competitive, like you said. But if you are smashing up all the teams in your league, 10s, 11s, 12s, bro, stop being silly, man. Go up to the next level, man. Get me? Come on. You can't just stay there and take liberties. You know what I'm saying? It's not fair on the other guys. You know what I'm saying? So,
okay. All right, Jam. So literally, I'm going to kind of put it like to you, because again, like, you know, Jam, you are one of the most committed players like that I've ever seen. And literally, what if like you were playing for a team, but like the whole kind of overall feeling was like, you know, we don't want to go up because we've seen the likes of Independent or Herne Bay or Seagas beating teams 6 or 7s. How would like you communicate to the manager or like to the players?
If I was playing for a team and they didn't want to go up, and I just leave.
Exactly.
That's it. Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm not going to stay there and mess about.
No. Stop. Amateur football. It's a brother-in-law's team or your brother's team. Yeah.
I ain't got no notice. No,
not the same. It's not the same for everyone, though. Obviously, I would leave. Yeah. But if it's my brother-in-law's team or my uncle's team, you can't.
It could be my dad's team. I don't business. I don't have loyalty to nonsense.
Yeah, but let's be honest. All of us who's talking here, our teams are pretty good. Our teams are not losing for that score line, so we're not in that shoes. Come on, be honest. None of us are losing by those score lines. We would have.
Wow, we took a heavy loss to Catford. We took a heavy loss to Catford.
What was your
7-0 was flattering. It was heavy.
If Independent was losing 7s, 8s, 9s every week, you think I'd stay there? As much as I love
Independent. But that's not the man you are, is it? That's not the man you are. I think it's a question of ownership, isn't it, as well? Because you look at certain things like that. At the end of the day, it's like as the man said, it's amateur football. You're going to have funny results. San Marino have been beaten up for years. You think you're stopping them playing? It's their right to play on that pitch. But what I'll say is, like, if you don't like getting beaten 12-0 and these big scorelines, that's a ownership thing. Like Jamex, you just said, like, if it was happening to me, I ain't going through it. You make the decision as a man. You can't just sit there and wait for fairy tales or wishes to come true. It's your decision to make. Like, we got hammered, and I'm telling you, Catford run right on us. And it wasn't, we just couldn't compete because we didn't have the squad. We had a choice. We could have all thrown our rattles out of our prams and run off to this one and run off to that one.
Ivan,
yeah, we beat Catford.
No, do you know what it was? It wasn't so much. It was quiet. It was hard, and that's why I get what the guys are saying. You see, like them big scores where you didn't compete and you just get rolled over. Like it's hard to pick yourself back up constantly. I haven't had it constantly, so I can't talk on that.
If it's a one-off, it can happen. You can have.
Yeah, but it's an ownership thing, isn't it? It's like if it's happening. If it's happening every week and you don't like it, then stop putting your hand in the fire and you won't get bad. You have to make that decision. This is why teams are folding. The other thing as well is, like, a lot of us are watching a lot of Match of the Day and we're kind of getting it twisted. Like it's a bit, it's not in a rude way. Like, everyone can come up with a brilliant idea, but you got to sell that to 17 people and they've got to follow it through. So I think a lot of us have to be realistic as well. Even the leagues, like, there's even yourself, Independence, you've come up all the way through. At one point, you were slapping teams so bad, like the league could have looked at it and said, is there a point in them going there? Shouldn't we just skip them to the top? Whether you would, but you have to, that's ownership for them, that's ownership for the player, that's ownership all around. But I think because we're going to these old Etonian rules that are written in 1900s, we won't change. And sometimes you do have to adapt them to sort of like suit the play, because you will lose teams unnecessarily. But it is an ownership, in my opinion. It's just an ownership thing. Like, if you don't like something, you don't go to McDonald's and say, "Can I have a Whopper?" Because you're going to be told Burger King's over there, and it's end off. Like, you do have to take ownership. Like, some teams I play for, they wanted to turn up and have a drink. That's good. But when I'm getting slapped about and we could have won this game and I'm not happy, don't expect me to be sold into your dream, because then it's gonna go left quick, isn't it?
Exactly.
So I think, like I said, it's just knowing yourself, know what you want to do, and if it don't meet your requirements, don't ruin the game for everybody. Just go and be where you belong. Exactly. But I think the league need to take ownership as well. They do it in grassroots football, kids' age. If teams are getting hurt so badly, they take them and protect them. So there are adaptations we could probably make to protect those teams. And sometimes they do just bite off a bit more than they can chew, and things change, circumstances change. You might lose one or two players for injury, and that can hurt your squad badly, especially if they're like your big. It's all right if you've got, say, 13 really good players, but if you've just got, like, say, 7 and 4 bolstering the squad, you lose one of your big 7, that could be losing 4 at one of your starting 11. Makes sense? So I do think we could adapt a bit better, but if we change too much, we'll ruin what we've got.
Yeah,
that's the other thing. Like, we can be pedantic and keep picking and picking, but we got to celebrate what's right. And there's probably about 85% right. Would we all agree? That little small 15%, we could tweak that easily over the years. But unfortunately, there are going to be a lot of casualties unless we adapt. But that's, in a way, that is life as well. Like, you get big football teams, professional clubs, they go out of the game. So if it can happen there, then it's happening here. We shouldn't be too shocked.
Look how far the game's come. Vets football, if we're honest, when I first heard
the mistress we all don't leave alone. Football, it's a cruel game now, at the same time as it's a lovely one.
Proper competitive football. It never used to be, but now it is.
Yeah, man. There's lads around my way who are young 30s, and they're like, once we're old enough, we're playing, and they're already thinking about it,
They're signing up already,
Yeah.
They're already on it,
That's what I mean. 85% ain't worth knee jerking over. Like, let's work with the good side, and then we can adapt to the rest of it, I think. I mean, what would be a good idea, and it's a platform like this show, like, really interesting, rather than just the London Cups, like, get inventive and do sort of like a little mini Champions League where you can pull in around the country, do like a national tournament.
Conway does it.
It makes sense. It sounds silly, even if you took 2 weeks in the summer where you played it over 2 weekends or whatever you did. It's just, if we're really about it and we're really saying what we're saying, we have to step up and do something big, innit? And it would just be massive. Does it. Right? You could imagine.
Conway does it.
It'd just be big.
Ivan,
they do it.
Ivan, I do it. I do a World Cup. You should contact me. We'll do a World Cup. There's only about 2 South London teams who joined. I don't know why the rest, they've just a bit busy. They haven't, but
it's knowledge. Like, not a lot of people know. That's what I'm saying. Not a lot of people know.
They do know, Ivan. It's been going for the last 4 years. Conway.
Yeah. Well, that's the first I'm hearing about it. And I'm a football heart. I'm at every pitch every week, but like, that's not through nothing you're doing wrong. But that's what I'm saying. Things like this show, things like word of mouth, bringing a friend, bringing a family. Like, I bring guys down from my gym that'll come and watch a game. They're 28 and they're already 7 years away from vets, eyeing up vets football. So maybe with just more exposure, just get out there as much as you can. But like, honestly, bring your kids, make it more family friendly.
I don't like where this is going, because eventually it sounds like you vets are going to start your own Super League, and just like with the Open Age, I'm going to get the blame for it. Like, I'm getting the blame for it for now.
Nah, you can't sell the show. You can't sell the show. You've got to keep it where it is. But that would be something, like I said, maybe in pre-season. So instead of everybody running around and chasing pointless friendlies, do a groundhopper day where you just get two teams sign up to let their grounds out for the day. And if there's 4 teams in sort of like an inter-tournament thing, then the next week they do it. And it's how they used to run it at Mottingham playing fields. It's always been done. But maybe it just needs a bit more of the vets, because it'd be lovely to play the boys down in Herne Bay, West Fulham. Obviously, we might get a spanking, don't know. But it's all about meeting new people, coming across different ideas. maybe invite some of the other countries away. See if Holland or any of them have got a vets team. Spain love vets football. Bring them over. Let's test ourselves. How good are we? But again, these little ideas like that, it expands what we're doing well with. And a massive respect to all of you as well, because we are doing it well.
Yeah. No. Thank you for that. And and again, Conway does a lot of tournaments, which I should be promoting a lot more. So Conway, I'll be putting a lot of stuff out on like this show and also on social media as well. And again, thank you to everyone that's been watching. Please like and subscribe. We are going to be going on to the next topic or discussion, and we have the main star of this.
Owen's heart is just going. Owen's going to get slaughtered.
So I must be glad that Jamal's is obviously now on camera. So I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm just gonna play the clip, and then I will hand it over to Owen, and then let's kind of have a discussion about this. Let's talk. But before anything else, let me play the clip.
Did you sorry, lads. For that. Hey. It needs to be a bit more aggressive. And you booked him for what? Well, no, it's not booking Sinbin. Drive. We'll bring on the defender, yeah. Oh, you look at the He just said to me, you took the ball, then you took the man. What are you saying?
Shocking.
Fabrice, you're on mute.
Owen, could you literally talk us through about that passage of play?
Okay, so that was me yesterday. That was we played a cup semi-final against our reserves team. So the guys in purple, that was our Resi's team, yeah. And yeah, that ball went through. I made what I thought was a great tackle. I even when I made it, I remember thinking, nice one, Owen, well done. And then look round, ref in the centre circle, blown it, Penno. And when I'm talking to him, and I was talking to him respectfully, yeah, because I know this ref, I was asking him, I was like, ref, can you tell me, did I get the ball? And as you might have heard me saying that clip, he said to me, yes, you got the ball, then you got the man. And I went, that's a tackle, ref. And he went, you're off, Simbin me, just because, yeah. And it was unbelievable. And, they scored. I mean, we ended up winning the game, no problem. There's someone who recorded all of that game. About 10 minutes from the end of the game, I've made a very similar tackle, not in the box, a bit further out the pitch. Absolutely wiped out the player, completely missed the ball. He didn't even give a foul. It was hilarious. So
because you intimidated him so much, he felt he couldn't give another decision against you. That's why you're putting the sin bin for dissent by word and dissent by action. See, Owen, these are the kind of things where you need to look at yourself in the mirror and say, today, I want to be a better man. I want to be a better person. But the person you are now isn't going to cut it, Owen.
So the tackle, right. I'm thinking that's a great tackle.
That's a great challenge. That's an absolute great challenge.
Great challenge. Good. That's not great. Good tackle.
Okay. I'm a defender.
Let's make that clear.
I'm a defender.
Make that clear.
It was all ball.
Let's make that clear.
Would you have gone to ground, Fabrice?
Great
in
defending.
The box?
Great
have gone to ground.
You shouldn't need to go to ground in the first place. Let's keep that. Good defending.
Because you've straight away you've said that was a good tackle. That was okay. I've asked you a question now.
Okay, all right. Me, okay. Ground, you know what? They always say the best defenders never go to ground. Yeah, but as an emergency, sometimes you've got to go in fully committed. And he got the ball.
What was the emergency? Why was he diving in? Because he wasn't in position.
But okay, cool. But you know what? He still got the ball.
Owen's my friend.
He actually still recovered.
Love him to death, but he wasn't in position. He didn't recover, did he? Because he's lunged in, so he didn't recover.
That guy was the left winger, by the way. Though that guy was the left winger. He wasn't a striker. He was a left winger, so he wasn't my man. And
so where was your right back?
He was he had got pulled out. Exactly. He was well out of position.
So there was only one ball. There was only one ball to be played.
I was covering.
Come across.
And you're right. Normally, I'd like to stay on my feet, and I normally do, but I sniffed it. I saw it. There was like a moment. I was like, I can get that. Bang. I got it. And then obviously, it all went tits up from there.
Brees, I was with you at the Catford game against Santos when I think it was the first goal. He went to ground in the box. And we both looked at why did he do that? We both looked at each other and said, don't give even if the Rev's in the halfway line, you've gone to ground. If you stand your ground and he goes past you, then I know you defenders love to go to ground and come off with your shorts dirty. Having a great game.
I got a nice burn from it. Look at that.
You see?
Jesus. No, okay. You know what, Paul? I agree with you a little bit. However, if that was against Independent, and if literally, like if Jamex went in,
made it.
You would have done your nuts.
Jamex had made it.
Hold on.
Jamex would have made it. Jamex would have made it.
Owen made it.
Jamex,
he would have made it.
Owen made it though. You can't say Owen didn't make it.
Owen made it.
I'm saying Jamex would have been further across, and he wouldn't have gone to ground. He would have just swept it away. Jamex would have been further across.
From a defending standpoint, this is a great debate. Obviously, from a refereeing standpoint.
But are we all missing the most important point, though? It wasn't a penalty. It wasn't a penalty.
That's what I'm saying.
I do agree that the best defending is done staying on your feet, but then there are also statement tackles. Like there are certain tackles a defender can make. It will galvanise a team so quickly, and the energy that the team get off of it when they see that player.
Usually,
do you know what? If it's inside the box like that one and you've won the ball and the ref ain't got a bit dizzy from the sun, you can kind of say, look, you build on that. Don't go out there trying to hurt people. That's just stupidity. That's mindless fuggery. But what I'm saying is there are tackles you can win and it gives your team an injection. I think it's opinions. I'm not going to watch what I say because you can't talk about the Men in Black. But
of course you can.
Yes, we can. You know, Ivan, on this show,
I can't. Do you know what? Okay. I'll be honest. It's Royce on the show. I'll be honest. Like, I've learned one thing in Vets football. Like certain people have made my life hell, and it wasn't players. Like they're friendly with other teams, and they were letting certain things go on. If I breathed in the wrong direction, they were putting me in sin bins. And you know what? It started to sour my name, not just in football, because I don't just play. I coach. And like there was certain reputation created by a certain set of people I'm not going to mention because I'm not going to lie, it affected me massively where I walked away from the game for 6 months. And I was that stubborn. Do you know what? What you're doing is wicked. You know what you're doing. It's very evident. And do you know what? Just leave it alone. I think that might have been a one-off incident, but that just wasn't really a penalty. And if we make that a penalty, we've got to think about the competitive nature of the game as well then. Because you can make a block tackle that can break an ankle quicker than sliding. So
I got my coach.
Refs have got up their game as well. Nana's doing it.
Against Santos.
Oh, there's some good refs.
The guy got a red card. The challenge I got against Santos.
Did he?
The ball was gone. How long ago? He just clapped me clean.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Did he get the red card? And that's what I'm saying. It's a bit similar to when you had the sort of Keenan Vieira. Keenan Vieira could put in a tackle that's put in every week, but because they know that guy's this way, it was now a red card. And sometimes they wasn't. They was a bit tough, but that's what I'm saying. Like we've got to be careful because there is an element of the way they treat people differently. Like when I'm turning up to games and referees are like, "Oh, you're here. I hope you behave yourself because I won't put up with your shit today." And it's like, I've never met you before. Excuse my language, guys. I do apologize. And I feel personally that's kind of taking it personal. Yeah. You're supposed to be in how do you know me before I turn up? How do you know my name? You're calling me Ivan Daniel, but you ain't introduced yourself. That's rude. I wouldn't just walk into your face and tell you about your name and your crutch's size. I will do an introduction. So I think looking at that tackle, there's a lot of it as well. I think just ref the game from how you see it. Don't ref it off of the pass, because there's a lot of people that suffer mental health. There's a lot of people that suffer in their life in general, and football is an outlet. It's for the ones around them, but you can't take things personally. Me personally, it's not a penalty. It's just a good tackle.
But also,
I think he might have won it, Owen. I think he might have won this.
Owen, you did say that as well. The referee was in the centre circle, so positioning does help as well. Maybe his what he saw, the angle he
Very
saw.
Owen, can I ask you a question? What county was that referee from?
He's in Kent. Listen, I mean, that's another thing, Con. That guy, he's notorious in our standard. He's to be fair to him, he's mid-70s, yeah. He's an old man, right? But his name, his actual surname is Booker. That's his surname, yeah. And he is notorious for it. He creates his own problems. He talks to you as if he's a kid. And that's one of the worst things, you know. There's this respect is a two-way street, yeah. And that's
100%.
but he will not allow you to even ask about his decisions. He's like, no, go away. And that starts, you're like, and it makes it worse.
Don't chat the big man, isn't it? You can't chat the big man. Yeah,
But
don't touch me. Refer to me as sir as well. Refer to me as sir.
Exactly. You know, and that just it really doesn't. I mean, every game.
Can I make a suggestion? Why don't you film him and then put a complaint in about him then?
That's not going to help.
Because they run their own league. They govern themselves.
Exactly. And we're short of refs as well. You know, like a lot of we're short of refs. They're not going to bomb him out. He's an institution around in our leagues. But I think we are going to send that clip in just to show, look, you know, this is what, because he's sin-binned me and another defender. So we went down to 9 men. We lost both our centre-backs. We went off. We went down 9 men. And we're just going to show, look, he actually creates these issues, you know, just to help open the eyes of the league.
You know what? On a higher note, though, just big them up a little bit, because it is a tough job to do. I've had to ref a few games, and it's horrible. It's horrible. You just feel guilty for every decision you make, whether it's wrong or right. So it's horrible. But
okay, so
still got a standard to adhere to.
So Jamal, you said it was a penalty. Can you tell us why?
I never said it was a penalty. When did I say that?
He was winding us up at the beginning, wasn't he? Yeah?
No. There's no beginning. Jamex, I need you to take control of the show here, because Tabrice needs to understand on stage. He's now brought forward a backstage conversation.
Yeah, true.
And brought it on stage. Now this is BBC. A £1,500.
We was off air, Tabrice. So, we was off air.
See, so that never happened. And Tabrice, if I get any more attitude from you, it's gonna be a defamation of character lawsuit. I'm serious.
Wow.
Anyways, like I said, the defending element is up for debate. Conway, can you put yourself on mute? Are you making popcorn or something? Thank you. All right. So yeah, defending wise, we can debate. Oh, was he out of position? Where was your right back? Where was your number 4? Why weren't you protected? Why were you put in the positions at the slide? We all know it's a fair challenge. Okay, where I'm disappointed in the ref, irrespective of the referee's age, if you are out of position, because if you do have a decision to make in the penalty area and you are anywhere near the area of the center circle, you should be leaning to not give a decision. You know, I don't know what the score was. Owen hasn't added that context. Clearly, even with 9 players, they still won anyway. But clearly, that is a fair challenge. You know, what that ref should be, if that ref truly believes it's a penalty, he used the wrong words. You can't go to a player, I'm giving a penalty because you won the ball first and caught the man afterwards. No, you need to say, I think you got the ankle first, then you got the ball, or, you know, you only won the ball because you fouled the player first. You know, something like that. The words have to match the decision. The referee's word said it's a fair tackle, but his decision said it was a penalty.
Yeah.
But either way, Owen, you're still to blame. If you know the age and the standard of your officials, then you have to play to it. No different than if you.
How is Owen to blame?
or
Like,
if you're
wait. You're saying that Owen's to blame for
it's
this?
about adjusting. He said he gave us more information since the alleged backstage conversation. He said this referee has a reputation. So if you knew that, why didn't you factor that in? You know,
it's hard though.
because
It's impossible. It's impossible.
no, it's
you know,
not possible. It's difficult. Okay. But Owen, if we play
Jamal,
back that,
have you actually played football? Though? Seriously, Jamal, have you actually played football?
Say again?
Have you actually played football? Like, you are like talking as if we don't go onto the pitch. Like, all of us, literally all of us on this panel, yeah, we can all talk.
Sorry. Have you actually? I played.
No, hold on, wait. Hold on, wait.
Google me.
Let me finish.
No, have I played football? Wow. Check your uncle, Jamex. But Google me, fam. Understand? 2 A's after the end.
All right,
Don't misspell my name either. Don't misspell my name either.
You are acting as if we all don't have a team talk. Do not get in the ref's back. Do not go down to ground. Once we cross that white line, and when the referee blows his or her whistle, it's like me versus you. Certain characteristics of like what we all have kind of go out of the window. We literally want to compete, and we kind of want to win because like we're all defenders here. We literally want to win the ball at all costs. So you can't say, oh, it's Owen's fault because he should have known how the referee was actually going to act. It wasn't as if Owen went up to the referee and said, you're a so-and-so, and then made a tackle. Owen went to actually defend his box, to defend his goal by all means necessary. So literally, how can you say that that's Owen's fault?
Here's where I am upset. I felt sorry for Owen at a time. I felt sorry for him. One, I felt that I wasn't sure of the score of the game. So maybe he lost. And maybe they lost by 1 goal, and that was the decision. He then gave extra information saying that he won comfortably. It was just his resis he's playing against. Then 2, he added, but I know what the referee's like. Yes, of course, when you cross the white line, there's some changes. I get that. But I know for a fact, if I rewind time, I said, Owen, if you put that tackle in there, you're going to give a penalty. Owen has the ability to stop that player from scoring without going to ground.
Exactly.
I know, yes, I know it. So I know, for the most part, it doesn't matter. Owen's unlucky. He's on the receiving end of a mistake from the referee. That's fine. It happens. Everyone on the green is going to make mistakes. That's part of the business, okay? It's not the worst mistake of a ref. It's not like Owen didn't make any contact with the attacker or, something like that. It's not like Owen won the ball cleanly and the ball flew off for a throw-in. That didn't happen either, but he did it. And on top of that, the camera angle is very favorable for us. And that's not the same angle.
Okay. Oh, and okay, and I just want to say I kind of Googled your name, and this is what I got up. Like that's the first thing that got up. You're in. It didn't say nothing about your footballing career, so like you'd have to send me that personally, please.
Wow. Personally, it would be
I'm just saying. No.
Okay.
No, you know what? I put in your name, and that was the first result that I got. So I thought, let me just screenshot it and just tell you what I saw.
Jamex, see what's happening here. My street cred is dying now. See, I've been a referee for too long. I have no respect in the streets no more. But it's fine.
I think Tobbs was looking for your Ballon d'Ors and your Puskas awards. He wasn't looking for that bit.
I didn't win a Puskas. I got nominated once, but yeah.
But again, to like Ivan again. Hey, like you kind of play in a kind of certain way where I've not really seen you kind of go to ground, but you can do win your fair share of like battles. I mean, again, like if I can referee, and again, this is even like a question to kind of Black Klopp as well, because you've like had not altercations with referees, but you've questioned the kind of referees decisions, politely, about how rough players can actually be. I mean, honestly, like, would you really scoff at that? If your defenders or your players are kind of going in hard, and your like players are getting sin binned or yellow carded for
Listen,
like pettiness like that.
It's as a Ivan probably answer would be different because he's a player. As a coach, there's not really much you can do when your boys go across the white line. So you can only maybe put doubt in an opposition's mind, in the ref's mind. In the end, the ref's going to make his decision. He ain't going to change it. Grassroots football. It's very rare they change it because then they lose credibility for the rest of the game. So the thing that I asked, it wasn't about physical, because of course you're going to make noise when they're being physical, but you know the reason why the opposition is being physical. You know, as we spoke about the first topic, you know, styles make games. My conversation with one of the refs was, when you're using a player as a linesman and the flag goes up every single time, why do you take that decision as gospel instead of going over and asking the question and letting him tell you the picture that he sees? Because most of the time, can you let me finish, Jamal, please?
You just answered your own question.
Because when sometimes when they put the flag up because they don't want the other opposition to score. Okay, we get that. It's grassroots football. If you ask somebody a question, what did you see? And if they come with you can say, well, that wasn't offside. That's not offside. And then you've caught them. But some refs, and this ref in particular, took it. You said, yeah, you know what? You're kind of right, because they just take the flag and they don't go over there and ask, well, what did you see? They just like, okay, offside. And I'm like, come on, ref, you got to ask the question. Ask the story. Let him tell you the story. Sometimes it will make sense. Sometimes it will be a load of BS. And you can say, you know what? That's not right. You're lying there. You know what I mean? So that's all I'm saying. The physicality, of course, you're going to make noise about, but you know the reason why. As long as people aren't injuring themselves, as Ivan says, not going in for, man's got work on Monday or Sunday, as long as that's not happening, and most of the time that's not. It's just physical, and of course you're going to rail up him out because you're trying to get small advantages in a game. Simple.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, I agree.
You've answered your own question though, because you said the referee is given a penalty, for example, and he can't change his mind because he's going to lose all credibility. So if that referee then goes and for a person,
I'm talking about going through. I'm talking about going through on goal.
Mr. Klopp. May I finish, please, Mr. Klopp? Okay. All I'm saying is, if he comes in and then he loses credibility. Now we know we can always question the bias of a club assistant referee. Some of the times, that club assistant referee is going to be in a better position to see if there's an offside offense than the referee. Now we know that can balance out from the cheating angle, and then so ball goes over the top. We think the attacker's offside. The flag goes up, but the attacker still threw on goal. When does the ref go and speak to the assistant referee?
Let him score. Listen.
Okay, so let him score first.
Goal. Let him score the goal. He's left the flag up. You think it's offside. Okay, I'm coming over to you now. What did you see? Well, I saw him behind the defender. Well, that's not offside. Oh, but I thought it was that player who's out on the wing, but the ball didn't go to him. He wasn't infecting play. It was the guy in the middle. Oh, okay. Goal. Or it was the guy right in front of the goalkeeper. He was, oh, okay. He was offside then.
And how many times do I do this then during the game?
You do it as much as it happens. You do it as much as it happens.
And I say
the game that we talk, do it as much as it happens.
I mean, I just think, obviously, it's difficult to fault your process. Realistically, you're asking for a lot. Come on, let's be honest. You're asking for a lot.
I must asking for a ref to walk maybe 30 yards and ask a guy on the line with a flag.
That's the biggest question. So I have to leave the center circle and then go over to danger.
Oh my God.
To danger. I have to go over to danger. Okay, I'm a 68-year-old man with a bad back and a sore knee. My knees hurt, my ankles hurt, my elbows hurt. I'm going to go over to this 36-year-old man who could probably kill me if he wanted to.
Oh, please.
I'm sorry, sir. Just trust me. The offside, please, mate. He's offside, isn't it, right? Yeah, I'm just saying. Well, you're asking for a lot. Come on.
Okay. Ivan?
It's hard, isn't it? I think you can argue with them all you like. You know the rules and you know what they're going to do. The one advice I give people is, and I've said it in a few games I've played this year, how about we stop making them the man of the match and we just adapt to what they're doing? Because it's going to happen, and it's happened for years. It's not new. if a linesman does what he's doing and the ref ain't seeing what he's seeing, isn't that like, that's how you become the apex predator? You're seeing what everyone else ain't seeing and you're adapting. You can just be a predator like everyone else, but you're going to get caught out and eventually you'll be the prey. But the apex always realizes and adapts to that situation. So if you've got a linesman that's flag happy, do what you guys do a lot, drop the ball short and run from deeper, or play at different angles and make it impossible. Or and you're going to take a couple of L's, we know that. But again, we just can't keep on making referees man of the matches because it becomes very expensive as well. Like you're paying £10 subs, £10 for your sin bin, £10 for, you could be paying out £30 a week. You know what I mean? And I think like at the end of the day, they are what they are. They're human beings as well. So we can grumble, we can adapt. That's the best thing. I wouldn't even answer them. I don't talk to them anymore. When they start doing that look me in the eye stuff, and you will look at me when I'm talking to you, my answer's quite simple. I won't, and I just asked to come off the pitch. Like, because I think that's where you have to bring them back down. Listen, you have no dominion or authority over me in that way. Like, there's some they can get out of line themselves as well, the way they talk to us, because as much as we've got to respect them and this big campaign going on, they're now talking to us like kids. So I don't talk to kids like that. So there is a two-way thing, but the way it seems to work is it's a Gestapo sort of thing. Like, if you want to talk after I've spoken, then I'm going to put you in the naughty corner. So sometimes it's best not to deal with them. It's hard. It's really hard. But like, I've seen some weird sin bins this year, and do you know what? The only answer I can come up with, and the only thing that's got me back to football, remember why I stopped for 6 months was because of them, is to just ignore them, because they just ruin your weekend. They take a lot of gloss off of some good wins as well, because you end up talking about how many times he teethed you or how many times they done this, and we're not actually talking about the game anymore. And that we just can't make a man of the match. And I think what they start to do is they realise they make a mistake and they want to be your mate after. It's like, no, you keep your energy, you be you, because now you got to own that now. When you walk off the pitch, you might not have to talk, but you will have to answer. Makes sense. And if people are filming and things like that, the league now have to start taking some of that into view. If your man's speaking, it's the same like the police. They put cameras on them for the same reason. You keep on speaking on the Queen's word, and we're taking your word and to find out his lies. So if we have got video evidence, could the league maybe look at that and save somebody a £50 fine? Because it can become expensive. Like, I'm not a millionaire.
You remember the LSU
I work
game
hard for what I've got.
Yeah. It was the kind of LSU game
on the Astro.
Yes, yeah. I mean, that was and then
shocking.
and literally, Jam. I know that hey, like you know, of course.
I know what you're gonna say.
I mean, could you literally explain your yellow card against Wallenham that last season or this season?
Against Wallenham.
Yeah.
It was nothing. Literally, the ball's played. Their attackers gone for the ball. I've gone for the ball. We've just both bumped into each other. No, he booked me. He said it was very dangerous. I was like, "What was dangerous?" Yellow card. I was like, "Are you serious?" He's like, "Yeah, it's very dangerous." I was like, "Are you serious? Is this a joke?" Like, he's like, "No, it was very dangerous." I was like, "What was dangerous? Where was the challenge? There was no challenge." But yeah, couldn't do nothing about it, obviously.
But see, like, the issue is consistency. If he's kind of going to book you for like that, it's the consistency. So literally there
was no consistency, because
there was no consistency.
10 minutes later, a guy's cleaned up my player from behind, and there was no booking. And I was like, but if me just bouncing into somebody, but both of us bouncing into someone, each other, is dangerous, how can that tackle from behind not be dangerous? But it was a waste of time even talking to him, because all he does is he just puts you in the sin bin or it doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? Wasn't that the same game he booked man for coming on as a sub as well?
Yes.
He booked one of our players for coming on as a sub.
Not coming in the halfway, and we had VU who filmed it. The guy coming on at halfway, sent it to him. He still put the money in Jamal's pocket.
We had a similar situation when we played you with that referee, and that's what I say to you about people taking personal views. Like, it was a bit ropey, I'll be honest. Like, but I ended up getting booked for talking to my centre back partner, and he was adamant I said something I didn't say. Like, you shouldn't be preying me. Like,
Was it our first game?
Yeah, and
No,
it
the
was
second
like
game. The second
he
game.
didn't turn up to. It's the first game
Become a
down at your
rapaholic.
It was the first game, yeah.
It was for me. It left a bitter taste. Like, I'm glad. Like, I spoke to him at halftime, and where I give him full due respect, you know what? He could have just told me, "Go away. I don't want to hear it." He actually listened to me, and when I said it to him, he kind of went, "Oh." But the brother was calling me a madman. He was saying I'm deliberately targeting him, and he had me feeling dirty. And I'm thinking, Ross, am I really like mentally ill? And he's like, "You're sick," and I was like, "You're saying all this while there's a game going on. There could be a fight kicking off behind you, and you're making me your personal thing." Like, and I know Shug's touched on it, and this is again, like, I'm very conscious about my image at the minute and how I do things, because I don't want to be that arsehole. That sort of guy. I don't want to be it, but like, it's hard not to be like when people are treating you like that. And even at one point, I was saying to him, "Bro, just stop. Look, just leave me alone. Leave me alone. Just do what you're doing, innit?" And it was like, "Oh, you're mad." And when I think sort of like, who's booking you then for that? Because what if I was? You could have just tipped me over the edge, bruv. Like, mental health ain't no joke. Like, I deal with that daily, and it's not on a real level. Like I said, like, I was when Suggs was talking about that, and he said, "Oh, so and so," and Ivan, he was on the ref. Like, you got that very wrong. Because anytime anyone was hurt or at any risk, and I'm sure you guys can vouch for me, I wanted the safety of everybody on that pitch.
Oh, Ivan's cool, man. Ivan don't mess about with
that's
that.
what I'm saying.
Yeah,
they can
Ivan's
sometimes demonize situations that ain't situations. That Jamex, you might have walked into the pitch and maybe had too much swag or drip, and he might not have liked you. I don't know, but that's what. Sometimes it is a personal thing, and that's where I think they get a wrong, or they're going off of their mate told them he's a tough one, him, because he had a bad day, and now they're all on that same player. Does that make sense? So,
that referee, before the game, he talks to you. He's all like, he's everyone's mate. He's fine. As soon as that game starts, he turns into a demon.
A demon.
You know
it's crazy.
He does some stuff you have to think, like, bro, are you okay? I've seen it. Look, in the cup final against you guys last season, he was patting man down on the sideline before he come on as a sub. I swear to, I'm not lying.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, you see what I'm saying, and I think like there's certain things like you can talk or walk, and you say or you do, and like you get handled that way.
You were there.
Like me personally, if that happened to me, I'm going to the FA, bro. Like, you just need addressing. Like, don't insult me like that, because there's nothing in the rule book where you have to pat me down.
Ivan, sorry. Yeah. I was at which game?
The cup final.
Seagas Cup final.
Seagas last season.
So you got touched up in that game.
Who? Me?
Yeah.
Me.
One of us.
I'm a starter. You should know that by now, Jamal.
No. Right, yeah, true. So one of your teammates are coming up. Okay.
But yeah,
I couldn't have helped being offended by that. I would have been offended by that. Deeply offended.
Ivan is saying some terrible things to hear. Ivan said, because you always, someone in my position, we always want to hear about people's experiences. With the opposition, the league, the ground staff, and the referees. So I don't want Ivan having to look back in the mirror and reflect and think like, am I a bad person? What have I actually done? And
I'm not. Do you know what? I'm gonna take. Sorry, Jamal. I'm gonna take ownership as well. Like, listen, like, I can be an idiot. Like, I'm gonna put my hands up to that. But like, you've got to understand. Like, I started playing vets football, right? And I tell you where a lot of it started with the refs and things. I just lost my mum, so football was a venting angle for me, and it was just the only place where I could just be a human and get away from it. Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, I was hiding and I was hurting, and there was a raw anger coming out of me on that pitch. Like, this was what me and my mum used to do. Like, she carried me everywhere, not my dad. Like, she carried me everywhere, and it was like playing football. I just thought there was a lack of empathy towards the human. Like, surely, like, when you see somebody react a certain way, like, do you never look at that and just say, look, bruv? And there have been some good ones that pulled me aside and said, you're right. Like, you're a good boy, but you're not acting right. I don't expect them to do it all the time. But I do expect them to sort of like stop being these. They're coming like the Met in the 80s. Like they're just kicking and bashing people like before they ask
Yeah,
the
but don't
question.
forget, a lot of them will have a law enforcement background though, because you know,
100%.
I teach emotional IQ at the referee courses now.
Yeah.
But the people who's refereed you, what is it, the referee course back in the 70s, 80s, 90s?
Yep.
They were emotional IQ. What's that? You know?
Yeah, but that's the thing. You have to adapt to the world you're living in, innit? At the end of the day, what we were when I grew up, I look at these kids today, and I can't believe what you're telling me. Like, if I ever said that to my parents, I don't know. I just don't know. Because it wouldn't have been my mum and dad. My brother would have licked out my teeth for it. Like, but you got to understand, you're in a different generation. Like, so unfortunately, this is what you voted for and you asked for. So this is how we have to be. Like, you can't call for respect from us as players and saying we're losing referees, because we're also losing players. They're fed up with certain things. So like, it works two ways. And I just think like that for me, if I was spectating or playing or whatever, and I saw one of my players being pat down, I'm not impressed with that, bruv. Like, I'll take that seriously. Like, I just think it's insulting as well, like, on a real level. And that again, it happened against Seagas, but like, I'm sure the boys probably would have thought the same as well. Because again, you got to look at it as an opponent. What is it you know about this guy that you've had to pat him down before he comes on the pitch? That could make me think differently. Like, I might start tackling you a bit harder in case you come near me. What have you got in your trousers or shorts? You understand?
So easy. Okay, no,
no, but like, what you patting him down for? Like, what's his background? Is he that guy in jail? I don't know.
For real.
Like,
for real.
You got to really think, and like, you got, when you're playing sport as well, like the mental aspect of sport is frightening. Like, there's some players you play against and they got this ice cold thing about them, and it makes you be aware and you're on your game. There's some players, they're snarling, they're growling, they're biting. It makes you play away against them. Does it make sense? So when you're seeing all of these things and they're creating all of these false narratives, a lot of it is why we act the way we act on the pitch. Like, let the players be the players, let the referees be the refs, and leagues just do what you have to do for both of us, not just the refs, because we're all part of the same mission as well. But like, there are some good ones. Let's not knock it, because there's been some good refs this year, and I can't believe I'm actually saying it, but I am. And even the game on Saturday against I was dreading Charcoal because I've heard so much. And do you know what? On the contrary to what everything's been said, it went down very peacefully, and it was well officiated. I can't believe I'm saying it. It wasn't perfect. No, it wasn't. But neither are we. But it was well officiated. It was consistent. And I have to take my hat off and say it. Like, I had to tell certain people, I thought there was going to be abuse. I thought there was going to be all this. But no, it was just well controlled. It ended up being a nice day. So obviously, there are ways of controlling certain things, and it's working. But
I think refs have good days and bad days.
On Saturday.
Trust me, because you could have a ref today, and he's a good ref, and you have him next week. Next week is a proper see you next Tuesday. It's like bad cop, good cop. You don't know what you're gonna get. It's madness.
Yeah. So before we end the show, let's kind of end the show on a positive note. Let's kind of talk about like the positive stuff about vets, the positive stuff that everyone's doing on this panel. Again, hey, like, exactly what Jamek said, like the kind of coverage that vets like football is having what, like, Ivan and Owen and like what Black Klopp's saying, like people are reaching like 32, 33. You can't actually wait to actually turn 35 to actually play vets like football. How amazing is that?
Yeah, it's real, man. Proper. Trust me.
I owe a lot to vets football at the minute, like I said, because it's my Saturdays. I get my name back for about 3 hours. I'm not dad or coach or sensei or whatever. And you know what? Like, massive. Well, I got the moment in time as well. Massive respect to the Seagas boys, because they got me playing again. And not only did they get me playing, they got me enjoying my football again. We're not the best footballers technically, but we are good. But it's about more of the family orientation, the vibe, how they make you feel. That dressing room, like the little banter after where you sit down. And this is what we don't see in football, and that's the part. You see the pitch, but like, a big respect to Eli, Big Dan, the boys that brought me over there, little Sammy, Greggs, Tony, doing a wonderful job with limited resources as well. So hopefully And even like you guys at Independence are keeping everyone on their toes, up in the standards. Wish you all the best in the first division as well. It's going to be tough, but I'm sure you can manage. Herne Bay, the guys up there as well, doing your bit there, because it's just expanding it. The bigger it gets, the better it gets. So that's everybody out there, even Charcoal. The negative stuff they got. Let's say something nice about them, because they brought a lot of eyes to Vets football. London South. London South, they turned the screw when One Bell dropped out. We lost a very good vet side there, but you know what? London South stepped up, turned the screw in. Even the boys down at New Park that kept my mind safe for another year. There's loads of them. I can endless. Crayford Arrows, VCD. Everybody out there, mate. Everybody putting on a pair of boots on Saturday and giving up that overtime and giving up their family time to come and be a part of something so special. Massive respect to you all. Even some of the Div 2 as well. Big eye opener, guys. I thought it was going to be a little bit easier. I actually think it's more competitive because everyone wants to get to the top. So all the teams in Division 2, mate. Massive respect. Parkwood boys as well coming up. Hollington. There's some big hitters now. So just keep it going, all of you. All of you.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. I mean, as Ivan says, it's about, you know, helping your community. You know, our club, Independent, got the youth side. You know, I think sometimes people get it a little bit twisted, you know, as Ivan said at the very start. You know, the way Ivan is on the pitch is not what he is off the pitch. You know, you've got to sort of understand. Sometimes, you know, people are just playing a character on a Saturday. When they get home or in the bar, they're completely different. I think some people, you know, do you see the character of Dirty Den? Do you see him in the Tesco's and do you think that he's actually Dirty Den? He's a character being played by an actor. Being played by an actor. You know, sometimes people get it a little bit twisted, but love it. This season has been amazing. Second division has been very competitive. Lot of respect to all the teams, even though I gave them a lot of stick. That's how it is. I support my team 100% and I support everybody else 80%. That's just how it is. But no, pushed us all away. We got nicked in the end by a well-deserved team to win it, Santos. But yeah, looking forward to next season. There'll be another step to see if the guys can test themselves. They wanted to get to the promised land. They're in the promised land. Let's see if they can test themselves. That's the most important thing. But
congratulations,
I don't forget the teams. Thank you, Ivan. I don't forget the teams at the bottom, the 7th, 6th, 5th, 4th, all 3rd, all doing their thing. I always check the results, not just the second division. I check everybody's results because they're enjoying their footballs just as much as we're enjoying our football. And I salute all of them, giving up their Saturdays to maybe get spanked or maybe spank another team. It's just about enjoying your football. We don't get paid for it. We all think we're Rude Hullet or Black Klopp or Klopp. We're not. We're just a normal bod on a Monday at a bus stop, but we enjoy our football on a Saturday and Sunday. So I respect everybody, even respect the refs, except for Jamal. But yeah, good luck to everybody. Owen, must respect. Hopefully, we can get a friendly together. I'm not sure if we can do it this pre-season, but that would be something I would love to sort of arrange with us. Maybe meet halfway, maybe in Wales or somewhere, because you're so far.
Maybe we can. Yeah, we're only in Kent, right?
Right. Enjoyed it and respect to everybody. Have a great rest from Vets football and come back strong and hungry, and we see where we are.
Yeah, 100%. And the last words to Owen and Jamal.
It's a really exciting time for Herne Bay Vets because we're affiliated to the actual first team. Just yesterday, they got promoted into the Isthmian Premier. They won the playoff final against Ashford away at Ashford, which was a massive win. It's the highest level that Herne Bay first team's been at. They're building a 4G on the so they're replacing their pitch, get a 4G. Their women's team won the league. Their youth are smashing it. We're obviously doing it. So at all different levels, Herne Bay, it's great. We're going to be playing, hopefully, on that 4G next year. And we're foreseeing, because they've got a hardcore group of fans, we're foreseeing that this hardcore is going to watch us first, then hang around to watch the first team. So we might start getting massive crowds come watching us. Yeah,
Roger.
What that's going to really do, the major point about that is that's just going to help elevate Vets football, the awareness again. So yeah, really exciting times. Really enjoyed being part of this. I don't know if we're going to continue doing it off season, but it's been great to get to know all of you guys, meet some people. Definitely try and sort that out at Paul whenever. But yeah, blessed. Nice one. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and Owen, I just want to say, this show is going to continue throughout the preseason and all next season. So yeah, and Jamal.
I'm just lost for words after Owen's fantastic speech. Much else to say. Obviously, I know Tabriz has no love for me. Owen has no respect for me. I mean, someone who calls himself the Black Club, leave it there. So the only person who has any bit of respect for me is Jamex. So big up Jamex, everyone out there. Or big up,
respect.
You understand? Defenders out there. You understand? Modern day defenders like Jamex and Ting. You understand? So yeah, go from there.
Okay, and Jamal, could you plug the Vets Cup final, please, and date and venue?
Yeah, Vets Cup final Wednesday, 11th of May at Cray Valley Football Club. So that's down in Elton. And if all of you are coming, I can get you on the guest list. So let me know as soon as you can as guests of the show. So yeah, be good to have you all down there. Be fantastic.
Cool.
Yeah, get me a ticket, please, Jamal.
Everyone except.
Thank you.
I didn't say no names, but it's cool.
You're not getting what you lent me back then.
I'll just come to your house and take it. So it's cool.
You could try. Come.
Oh gosh, and literally
big machete waiting for you. Come. Come.
Oh dear, and
you didn't even want to say machete. You want to say cutlass, but anyways, we'll leave that alone.
Some people wouldn't understand what that is, so you've got to,
Don't lie to me, because a man like you call your scallion spring onion, so it's cool.
So and again, the kind of London Vets is sponsored by yours truly, the amateur footballer. So again, thank you, Jamal, for literally allowing me that privilege. And again, it's West Fulham who are the holders versus Charcoal. So again, please kind of get down there. 11th of May at Cray Wanderers Stadium.
Cray
Valley. I will literally get all the details and I'll literally pull it.
What's the time again? What time?
7:30.
7:30. So again, honestly, guys, thank you so much. Owen, Jamal, Ivan, Jamax, and Black Clop, aka Paul. Thank you all for kind of
take care, everyone.
Respect. What's up, lads?
And again, this is literally all about vets. And again, literally, let's literally spread the word. Let's kind of really spread the word. So again, guys, please like and subscribe. If you kind of want any kind of details from literally any of the teams, please DM me. And again, I'm literally here to just to kind of spread the joy that is Vets football. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be back next week. Have a blessed Monday, and yeah, I'll see you guys later on.
Take care, lads. Nice one.
Cheers, guys. Thanks for having us.
Later.
Thank you.